Welcome to Spot Podcast, the voice of scientists, where groundbreaking research meets your ears. We bring you the world's top-cited research articles in an engaging podcast format, making cutting-edge science accessible anytime, anywhere. Stay informed, stay inspired. This is the Spot Podcast, the voice of scientists.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I know there's a ton of buzz these days about AIs and how it's changing the game, especially, well, literally when it comes to making game.
Yeah, it really feels like things are accelerating fast.
So today we're taking a deep dive into some pretty fascinating research, a paper called World and Human Action Models Towards Gameplay Ideation.
Catchy title, right?
Don't worry, we'll break it down.
We'll make sure it makes sense.
Basically, it's all about using AI to design video games.
Which, if you think about it, is kind of mind-blowing.
Totally, and we're going to explore how this research could impact the games we play, even if we aren't developers ourselves.
That's the goal. Because this isn't just some pie-in-the-sky tech demo.
Right.
It actually digs into the real needs of game developers.
So instead of just throwing AI at the problem,
Exactly.
these researchers actually started by asking, what do game designers need?
Exactly. They interviewed 27 game development pros to understand their creative process.
Wow. So they went straight to the source.
They did. And from those interviews, two big themes emerged.
No.
First, developers crave AI that can generate a ton of different ideas, things that spark their imagination.
So like an AI brainstorming buddy.
Yeah, but there's a catch.
Oh.
Those ideas can't be totally random.
Right. They've got to fit the game.
Exactly. If you're making a fantasy RPG, you don't want the AI suggesting a spaceship battle out of nowhere.
Makes sense. That wouldn't fit the vibe at all.
Nope. So that's what they call divergent thinking. Getting a variety of ideas, but within the right context.
Gotcha.
And the second big theme was all about iteration.
Which is?
Basically, the way game design works is all about making changes, tweaking things, refining the experience until it's just right.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine how many iterations a game goes through.
Tons. And so developers also need an AI that can keep up with that can adapt and evolve along with them as they make those changes.
Not just spitting out an idea and calling it a day.
Nope. It's more like a creative partner than a one-time tool.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And that's where WHAM comes in.
WHAM.
You got it. The World and Human Action Model.
Okay, that's a name that definitely makes you sit up and listen. But what is it exactly?
So WHAM is this new type of AI that can actually generate ideas for gameplay.
Wait, hold on. We're not just talking about AI generating visuals like those AI art programs that are everywhere these days.
Right. We're talking about ideas for how the game itself plays out.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It can look at a game and actually predict what might happen next.
Really?
Both visually, like what you see on screen,
Okay.
and in terms of player actions, like what the player might do next.
That's insane. How does it even do that?
Well, get this. They trained it on 7 years of gameplay from the game Bleeding Edge.
7 years. That's like an AI getting a PhD in Bleeding Edge.
Ha. That's one way to put it. And because of all that data, WHAM really gets how the game works.
Deeply, yeah.
Not just copying what it's seen,
Right.
but actually coming up with new ideas that fit within that world.
Okay, color me intrigued. How did they even go about testing something like this?
So remember how we talked about those user needs at the beginning? The consistency, the diversity, the adaptability.
Yeah.
They were really smart about this.
Uh-huh.
They tested WHAM based on those specific needs.
So instead of just looking at how technically impressive it is,
Right.
we wanted to see if it would actually be useful for real game developers.
Exactly. And they identified 3 key capabilities that WHAM has.
Okay, lay it on me. What can this AI do?
Well, first off, it's consistent.
Meaning?
The stuff it generates actually makes sense in the world of the game.
Gotcha.
Follows the rules.
So no characters teleporting randomly or anything like that?
Exactly. No breaking the game with ideas that just don't work.
That's good. I'd hate to see my character suddenly sprout wings and fly off.
Haha, right. The second thing is that WHAM is diverse.
Meaning it can.
It can come up with a ton of different ideas.
Cool.
Not just repeating the same thing over and over again.
So it's not a one-trick pony, it's got range.
Exactly. It gives developers a whole bunch of options to choose from and spark their creativity.
That's so cool. I'm already imagining the possibilities.
And the last one, this is a biggie, WHAM is persistent.
Persistent.
Meaning it can actually keep up with the changes that developers make.
So if I added a new obstacle to a level, WHAM would be like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's work with that.
Exactly. It adapts its ideas to fit those changes.
So it's really a partner in the creative process.
It is. That's what makes WHAM such a potential game changer.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Did they actually put this thing to the test? Did it work? Tell me everything.
Oh, they put it through its paces. All right. And the results, Well, let's just say get ready to be amazed. So remember how I said to get ready to be amazed?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Spill the beans.
Well, one of the things they found was that WHAM could actually generate gameplay sequences that were up to 2 minutes long.
2 minutes? That's way longer than I expected.
I know, right? And not just random actions. These sequences actually made sense within the game world.
Whoa, so it wasn't just like characters running into walls or anything like that?
Nope, it was like watching a pro player.
Really?
But it was the AI coming up with those actions, planning and strategizing.
That's wild.
It really shows that WHAM can think long-term, understanding how actions play out over time.
So it's not just about the immediate next move, it's thinking ahead.
Exactly. And they actually saw all those capabilities we talked about, the consistency, the diversity, the persistence. They saw it all in action.
Okay, I need details. Give me an example.
So for consistency, they saw characters navigating the environment, realistically using their abilities and everything.
So not just button mashing.
Not at all. It was playing strategically, making sure its actions followed the rules of the game.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And when it came to diversity, WHAM was able to generate all sorts of different gameplay styles.
Like what?
Well, they saw it play aggressively, defensively, stealthily, all sorts of different approaches depending on the situation.
So it wasn't just stuck in one way of playing?
Nope. It could adapt and come up with creative solutions.
That's so cool. It's like it actually understands the concept of strategy.
Right. And then there's the persistence aspect.
The what now?
Remember, that's how well it adapts to changes the developers make.
Oh, yeah, right.
So they would add things to the game, like new obstacles or characters,
Okay.
and WHAM just rolled with it.
Really?
Yeah, it incorporated those changes into its gameplay seamlessly.
Wow, so it's really learning and evolving.
Exactly, and that's what makes it such a powerful tool for collaboration.
I'm starting to see why you were so excited about this.
This research is really groundbreaking because it's showing us that AI isn't just about automating tasks. It's about augmenting human creativity.
Yeah, it's like giving developers a whole new set of tools to work with.
It's about opening up possibilities that they might not have even considered otherwise.
That's awesome.
So now that we've delved into the tech side of things, let's zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture.
Okay, I'm ready for the big picture.
What if we could use this technology to create gaming experiences that are truly tailored to each player?
Whoa, hold on.
Imagine a game that adjusts its difficulty based on your skill level.
Oh, like if I'm struggling, it'll ease up a bit.
Exactly. Or a game that adapts its story based on the choices you make.
So every playthrough would be unique.
Exactly. It's about making games more engaging, more immersive, and frankly, just more fun.
I can definitely get behind that.
And it's not just about personalized experiences. It's about opening up the possibility for entirely new genres of games.
Genres.
Games that we can't even imagine yet, that push the boundaries of storytelling and interactivity.
This is blowing my mind.
It really makes you think about what the future of gaming could be.
It does, but let's be real, this is still just research, right? We're not going to see WAM-powered games on the shelves tomorrow.
True, it's still early days, but it's definitely a glimpse into what the future could hold.
Yeah, and a pretty exciting glimpse at that.
Now, you mentioned that WHAM was trained on bleeding edge. Does that mean it's limited to just making ideas for that one game?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
That's a great question. What's really interesting is that WHAM actually learns the structure of gameplay itself.
So not just the specifics of one game.
Nope, it's learning those underlying principles of game design, the things that make a game.
So it's like it's learning the language of games.
Exactly. And that means it could theoretically be trained on data from any game.
Whoa, so it could be used to make ideas for all sorts of different games.
That's the idea. And that's what makes this research so groundbreaking.
I'm starting to see the potential here. This could really change how games are made.
Imagine game designers being able to use AI to brainstorm new ideas, test out different genres, even invent whole new mechanics that we haven't even thought of yet.
That sounds amazing. What kind of impact could that have on the games we play?
Well, for one, I think we'd see a lot more variety in games.
More unique experiences.
Exactly. Games that are tailored to specific interests, that challenge our expectations, that tell stories in new and innovative ways.
That sounds awesome. It's like AI could help us break free from the same old game formulas.
Exactly. And it's not just about the games themselves, it's about the players too.
How so?
Well, imagine games that are more personalized, more responsive to your individual play style, games that feel like they were made just for you.
Now that's a game I'd love to play.
Right. And it's all thanks to this incredible research that's showing us what's possible when we combined the power of AI with human creativity.
It sounds like a win-win for everyone.
It really does. Now, one thing that struck me about this research was how much they emphasized user needs and feedback.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
They didn't just create WHAM in a vacuum.
Right.
They actually went out and talked to real game designers, listened to their challenges, and used that feedback to shape the development of WHAM.
So it wasn't just about building cool tech for the sake of it.
Nope. It was about making sure the technology actually addressed the needs of creative professionals.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that user-centric approach is what makes this research so promising.
It's not about replacing human creativity, it's about empowering it.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where AI and human ingenuity can work together to create something truly extraordinary.
Okay, this has been an incredible deep dive so far. My mind is racing with all the possibilities.
I know, right?
But before we get too carried away, I have to ask, what's next? What happens now? Where does this research go from here?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, it always feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Well, think of this research as opening a door.
Okay, I'm following.
There's a whole universe of possibilities on the other side of that door, and we've only just peeked in.
Lead the way. Where do we go from here?
Well, for starters, I think there's huge potential in applying WHAM to other creative fields.
Oh, you mean beyond game development?
Exactly. Think about music composition or novel writing, even creating art.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the core concepts could transfer.
Right. It's all about understanding patterns,
Mm-hmm.
generating different possibilities.
And then responding to the creator's input.
You got it.
It's like giving artists a whole new set of tools.
Exactly. And even within game development, there's so much more we could do with WHAM.
Like what?
Well, we can make it even more consistent,
Mm-hmm.
more diverse.
Even more persistent than it already is.
Exactly. There's always room for improvement.
And there's that whole challenge of actually integrating it into the workflow of game developers.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big one.
Figuring out how to make it a seamless part of the creative process.
It'll be fascinating to see how things evolve.
Yeah, and it's not just about the tech itself. It's about that partnership between researchers and developers, making sure they're working together to create something truly amazing.
It's like what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That shift in perspective from seeing AI as a threat to creativity
Right.
to seeing it as a potential partner.
A collaborator.
That's the key. It's not about AI replacing human artists.
Mm-hmm.
It's about giving them new tools to express themselves.
Expanding the canvas of what's possible.
Exactly. Think of it like when the camera was invented.
Okay.
It didn't replace painting, did it?
Nope.
If anything, it gave artists a whole new way of seeing and capturing the world.
And led to all sorts of new art movements.
Exactly. And in the case of game development, AI tools like WHAM could lead to a whole new era of innovation.
I like the sound of that.
Games that are more immersive, more personalized, more responsive to the player.
Games that push the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Exactly. It's not just about the tech. It's about the human element.
The creativity, the storytelling, the connection.
Yes, it's about all those things that make games so captivating in the first place.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a thought.
Okay.
Imagine you had access to a tool like WHAM, BAMES. What would you create? What possibilities would it unlock for you?
What kind of future could we build together with AI as a partner in creativity?
It's a pretty exciting thing to think about, isn't it? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep creating.
Stay curious, keep exploring, and join us next time for more groundbreaking research brought straight to your ears. Don't forget to subscribe and share, because science is meant to be heard. Stay curious, keep exploring, and join us next time for more groundbreaking research brought straight to your ears. Don't forget to subscribe and share, because science is meant to be heard.